ancient creatures.
A large freshwater predator is foraging in the river. The Numidian suchomimus turns away. After spotting a Spinosaurus in the water, it immediately turns and flees at full speed. Because it is one of the Spinosaurus' favorite prey, almost a staple at every meal. As a highly specialized giant predatory theropod dinosaur, its semi-aquatic lifestyle shaped a unique body structure. This specialized form was especially suited to hunting in the water. During the Cretaceous, they mainly inhabited freshwater systems, moving freely between river networks, able to adapt to both freshwater and brackish environments. Among them, the nearly 6-meter Numidian suchomimus and the 4.5-meter Libycosuchus together made up the Spinosaurus' main food source. But at this moment, the diving Spinosaurus has no intention of hunting. So these animals, usually its prey, can swim calmly beside it for now. Each day, the Spinosaurus spends much time swimming in deep pools. When fishing or resting, they behave much like modern hippos or crocodiles, choosing shallow riverbeds, submerging part of their bodies, while exposing their back and large sail above the surface. This keeps them cool, while staying alert at all times. Although adult Spinosaurus were unrivaled in their ecosystems, during breeding season, their newborn offspring were not nearly as fortunate in these rivers. Crocodiles, masters of underwater ambush, remained a constant threat to the young. Crocodilians have existed without interruption through every geologic era. Thus, by the late Cretaceous, modern crocodiliforms already coexisted with dinosaurs. At this time, a lurking wetland crocodile seizes an opportunity and attacks some small, swimming juveniles, Spinosaurids. When food became scarce in freshwater systems, the Spinosaurus would migrate with its young into the ocean to hunt. Yet the oceans, though rich in life, were far more dangerous than rivers. When adults set their sights on schools of plesiosaurs in the sea, or smaller ichthyosaurs and marine reptiles, the true challenge had just begun. The juveniles following the adults also became targets for predators. In the Cretaceous seas, mosasaurs, with their advantage of live birth, successfully replaced other marine reptiles in ecological niches. They began to rise in prominence. Although early mosasaurs were not large, they were still preyed upon by adult Spinosaurids. But for the young Spinosaurids, they were already on the mosasaurs' menu. These sensitive marine hunters, the mosasaurs, including small species like Noptothethosaurus, about 3 meters long, showed both primitive and derived traits. They were transitional species between basal Agellosaurs and more advanced mosasaurs. Dinosaur Encyclopedia, Mosasaur, the genus Mosasaurus, commonly called mosasaur, was a giant marine lizard. It was the apex predator of the late Cretaceous seas, and one of the last marine reptiles to evolve. In the entire Mesozoic era, Mosasaurus fossils are found worldwide. Along with pterosaurs and non-avian dinosaurs, they went completely extinct in the mass extinction at the end of the Cretaceous. The Latin name means lizard of the Meuse River, because its fossils were first discovered in Maastricht, the Netherlands, in the 18th century, near the river Meuse, which gave it its name. Mosasaurus was also the first prehistoric reptile ever discovered by humans. predating even the first recognized dinosaur fossils. Today, its fossils are especially abundant in Western Europe, particularly in the Netherlands. They are also found in North American seas. By geological age, their remains occur mainly in the late Cretaceous from the Turonian to the Maastrichtian stages, with the greatest abundance. In the Maastrichtian, about 70 to 65 million years ago. Fossils are most numerous from that interval. Mosasaurus is the largest genus in Mosasauroidea, the best known among the first described and the one with the richest fossil record. Its type species, Mosasaurus hoffmanni, measured 13 to 15 meters long. Other species besides M. hoffmanni, including cone-toothed forms and other robust-toothed species, were generally under 12 meters, not especially large among Mesozoic marine reptiles. Genera such as Mosasaurus, Tylosaurus, and Hinosaurus ranked among the largest marine predators of the late Cretaceous. Species of Mosasaurus had relatively slender yet sharp teeth, more powerful pectoral musculature, and smaller paddle-like limbs, with a shark-like tail fin and a noodle-slender body. Although Mosasaurus had a double-jointed lower jaw, its cranial sutures were already fused, so unlike earlier mosasaurids, it could not gape the jaws as widely to swallow prey whole. Its trunk skeleton and locomotion were closer to early ichthyosaurs, or even snakes, streamlined and adapted for swimming, far removed from a lizard-like body plan. Like Tylosaurus, Hinosaurus, and other giant relatives, Mosasaurus could reach 13 to 15 meters in length. Although a large marine animal, it is now considered smaller than earlier estimates suggested, only a little longer than Tyrannosaurus, and lighter in mass with a weaker bite. In overall dimensions, it approached Tylosaurus, with a robust, cylindrical torso, barrel-shaped and cross-sectional. Yet, in overall appearance, it remained slim and noodle-like, making it one of the more slender, large marine predators of its kind. The skull of Mosasaurus was more heavily built and sturdier. The joints between the lower jawbones were more tightly fused. So, unlike early and mid-period mosasaurids, it could not feed by swallowing prey whole like snakes. Its teeth were curved and razor-sharp, conical in shape, and varied in form. Some bore serrated edges, arranged irregularly along both vertical and horizontal axes. Mosasaurus probably tore its prey apart and dismembered it before swallowing. Like other mosasaurids, Mosasaurus also had pterygoid teeth on the palate, an extra row of teeth to help grip prey, reposition food into the right place, cut through muscles and crush bones, and prevent prey from slipping out. With its tremendous bite force, it could also use these teeth to tear apart its prey. Mosasaurus had large eyes, but its vision and sense of smell were not particularly keen. Its body was highly hydrodynamic, elongate like a dragon in form. The forelimbs had 5 digits, the hindlimbs 4, all evolved into flippers. With the forelimbs larger than the hindlimbs, Mosasaurus likely propelled itself by undulating its body through the water, much like modern sea snakes. Mosasaurus, Prognathodon, and Plotosaurus were more derived, later evolving mosasaurids, and may already have had shark-like tail fins, a feature absent in earlier forms, such as Tylosaurus. This made them better adapted to life in the open ocean. Paleontologists believe Mosasaurus lived in surface waters, feeding on fish and cephalopods, and possibly also on other small to medium-sized mosasaurids or even plesiosaurs.